Hey everyone, this is Sandwich to Mario with Bacon Freak 400 in Let's Play Mystery Dungeon. Pokemon of whatever this game is.
As much as I like bacon, I actually prefer ham. You know, bacon's okay, but ham is just ham.
It's all pig.
Oh, pig.
Pig tastes good.
Pig is good. I love pig. I love pork in general.
You know what I like more than pork?
Pork.
Bird.
Well, chicken's good, but I'm not really into... chicken's the only bird I eat. Turkey, obviously, but...
If I had the chance, I could eat chatot.
Ew. Don't do that. He probably doesn't taste good. Actually, wouldn't that be... That would be kind of horrific in this universe, because all of them can talk. That'd be like eating your neighbor. Or it'd be like eating your...
would be all like, why are you eating me?
Or not like your neighbor. It would be more like eating your, like, advisor or something.
He'd be like, I'd advise you not to eat me.
Yeah, this game is really horrendous with flashbacks. We don't need all these flashbacks. They like...
It was like, we just did that last episode. I think we remember.
Yeah, they flash back to things that just happened.
Short-term memory loss, man. It helps. Hey, if it helps, it helps, you know?
Yeah, I know. But when I played this game before, I never noticed it. And now doing this LP, I'm like, man, dude, they flash back a lot.
They're referencing a place called Quicksand Desert.
Basically, that's the end of Northern Desert, is what Quicksand Desert is. It's what we saw at the end.
So, I seem to think that there's something there.
Well, no, I seem to think there's something there because I was familiar, and you're going along with it because haven't been wrong yet. I haven't.
Your drugs are gonna be a problem.
I love doing drugs.
I think we should not take them with us.
Now, okay, this guy wants a mystery part. Is that going to be a side mission?
Mystery part? That sounds familiar. Let's see if that's a thing. I don't know if that's going to be important.
And Murkrow wants a golden mask. Okay, I could look that up.
Golden mask maximally raises chance of recruiting Pokemon. It's a hold item, I believe.
Maybe that goes with the swap shop thing then, if they want those items.
Yes, I believe a lot of these items they reference come from the swap shop. So there's a lot of really neat items, a lot of cool items.
So I will be sticking with SM because SM is definitely a better contender than PKZ, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And he will prove to be very useful in this next dungeon.
What was that item that Shuppet referenced?
The mystery part, I think.
Mystery part?
Or something part. I think it was mystery part. We have a lot of money.
Money. I like that.
Actually, at this point,
game, I like
the one thing I noticed is, and I've changed my strategy a bit. Usually, like in the earlier dungeons, I'll try and search out a bunch of treasure. In the later dungeons, there's a lot less treasure. There's a lot of money somewhat, but there's a lot less, like, items and, like, berries and stuff. So at this point, it's definitely, the shop actually becomes useful because you can find less in the dungeons, and you will definitely need items. So, I'd say, like, the first half of the game, the first 10 chapters, I would definitely explore every inch of every mystery dungeon, but at this point, I would, kind of just focus on getting to the exit, because the dungeons get harder, and, it definitely gets more tricky. Anyway, I'm linking his moves. And just deciding what to do for his moves. Oh, it's Horn Attack, not, that K-Man has.
Yeah, Horn Attack. It can learn Tank Down, I'm pretty sure.
He doesn't have it yet, though.
Not yet.
I love this group. That's PK's team.
Which PK, though?
All the PKs. Somewhere in the world there is a village of PKs. They all get nothing accomplished.
They're all filled with Sandshrews, Tauros, and Paris.
Oh no, he was a Pineco. He wasn't a K-Man. He wasn't a Tauros though. That's K-Man.
Oh.
So here's some items. I am gonna actually buy the Reviver Seed because those are always useful to have. I haven't seen anything useful in the other shop, though, for orbs and stuff.
No, not much.
And I will be, I think, no, I guess I don't buy any more gummies. But you should be using gummies, because one thing I've noticed is if you use, like, especially if you use a multiple in a row, the gummies can, like, increase the Pokemon's attack or defense or stuff, so definitely pump any Pokemon full of gummies.
I have this thing I can't get over. It's called making it difficult for myself to do something.
No, man. No, man. You need to... I'm a completionist, so I'm the opposite. I like to use all my items. And obtain all the items. And perfect
I'm a hoarder.
This next week on Hoarders. Gummies.
I'm a hoarder.
Okay, got a Happiny card.
I'm not happy.
Because we can't use because we don't have a Happiny.
Oh.
And a Heal Seed. Heal Seeds are just kind of... I mean, they're useful, but they're pretty much like... I guess they're just cure-alls.
It's a full heal.
Yeah. Okay, full heal, yeah. Luxio Fang. Should have a Luxio. And a green gummy.
A gummy. That's helpful.
And so those revealed.
Another gummy.
Now the thing that's odd is those items do have stars on them, but you can't use them at the swap shop. So I'm assuming you just can't use them with like character-specific items. Because like, if you go to what's his face, Korrigan, he'll be like, oh, you can only use star items. I'm like, but these are star items. Why can't I use them?
Maybe.
I can look up.
I think someone mentioned this. I think someone said you have to. The star has to be in the item, like the item selection box. Like they have to be next to the.
Oh,
item
you mean when
you look in it?
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, that would make sense. I can look up the swap shop.
There's a lot of things that confuse me about this game that even I don't know about.
Okay, so we're back, but there's still nothing here. And I'm gonna look up the swap shop real quick so we can finally put this to rest.
Quicksand pits. This is obviously like a swimming pool. Alright. Are you gonna pop up one of those hallucinations?
No, actually not this time.
No? Wait a minute. Oh, those are the gears turning. There's no way forward.
Okay, according to this, you need 2 Pokemon-specific items to actually have it work.
Really?
Yeah, because it said, like, if you have the Bulba Claw and the Bulba Fang, you can be traded for the Grass Guard.
Oh! Oh, I get it.
You do?
Okay. There's a whole list. Okay, I checked on Cerebi. There's a whole list of, like, Pokemon are grouped based on evolution.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a whole list of items per evolution group. Like, the whole evolutionary chain of Bulbasaur through Venusaur has, like, 6 or 9 items or something like that that you can get. That's cool. I like that. So you have to have two of the same like evolutionary grouped items to get a specific item, and different combinations yield different items.
Also, it seems like certain things like you can only get by trading certain items. So, for example, we can't trade anything with Korrigan yet because we don't have anything to trade with. Like, we need to have like 2 Luxio items. Let's actually like look at Luxio. We need to have the Luxio Claw and Luxio Fang to actually get something. And we only have 1 of them, so that explains it. Anyway, we are in the quicksand, and we are in our next dungeon, actually.
How are we gonna get out?
Never. We're never gonna get out. We're stuck down here forever.
That sucks.
Anyway, Quicksand Cave. This place is annoying, but not the first half. There's 2 halves to this dungeon. It is a 21-floor cave, the last floor being a special floor. You can probably guess what it is in that floor. But there's 10 for this first half, which is the Quicksand Cave, and the second half is the Quicksand Pit. This dungeon also has Sandstorm, which is going to be a nuisance, and it says it doesn't have rest stops, but it does, because there's 10 floors of one part of the dungeon, 10 floors of the other, but I'm assuming, I guess they mean They consider Quicksand Pit a different part or something? I don't know. But there are also traps.
I thought rest stops were like rooms where you had heal spots, like heal pads.
Oh, then we haven't encountered rest stops then yet? Or have we?
Maybe not. I don't think so.
I can look up rest stops.
Because I thought those were a thing.
I thought the spots that you save was considered a rest stop, though. I guess those are halfway points then. I guess that what you're talking about would make more sense. Like an actual kill spot.
I thought that was a thing in both mystery dungeons, the first one and the second one.
They don't even actually say anything about rest stops. But whatever, they're saying there's no rest stops here, so.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, the Pokemon you can find here: Sandshrew, Nincada, Vibrava, Pupitar, Scorpion, Sandslash, Mawile, Tyranitar, Hippopotas, and then Ninjask. So there are actually quite a variety of Pokemon here. Definitely some tough Pokemon. This place can be quite deadly, actually. Definitely more tricky than Northern Dungeon, or Desert Dungeon. I mean, technically it is a dungeon. But our Sandshrew friend will be definitely useful here because he won't be affected by the sandstorms, and in general, he'll prove to be pretty efficient at taking out the Pokemon here. One thing I realized at some point in this dungeon is almost at this part in the game, especially when you have 4 Pokemon with you, you kind of want to switch your tactics to at least having the other 2, not your partner Pokemon, but the other 2 Pokemon you have, to going after enemies, because otherwise you'll have 4 Pokemon just gathered around and not going after them, and you won't have efficient, you won't be officially able to attack the Pokemon because you'll just be, they'll all kind of be huddled up into one area and not moving and changing their position.
Plus, if you have someone other than Pikachu attacking and they happen to die, then you don't have to start the floor over either.
That's my other logic with the other Pokemon. It makes sense to have them attack because if they die, well, oh well, they'll just be revived next time. Okay, yeah, supposedly there isn't any rest stops for a while, so I guess, yeah, I guess that little area isn't considered a rest stop. Which makes sense.
Oh, Scorpion.
Well, he's not that bad.
He's a cool Pokemon, though. I like him.
He is. I don't...
Oh, her. I'm sorry. Her. Because that one's a female.
Okay. But, I don't know. The Gen 4 Pokemon, I don't know. There's just not a lot of them, and I guess I should play through Diamond and Pearl again and try some new Pokemon. I always tend to use the same Pokemon every time. That's the one thing I did with Black and White is I kind of well, I tried to use a variety of Pokemon until I found one I really liked to have. Though I did kind of decide from the beginning I was going to use the 3 monkeys. It's also the first game where I didn't keep my starter, because I did get rid of my starter in Black and White.
Really?
Yeah. Technically, talking about not wanting a challenge, technically my one friend always doesn't use the starter, because technically the starter is going to be better than the average Pokemon, so if you do want a little bit more of a challenge, it would make sense to not use a starter. That's the one thing. If you're talking about, again, not wanting a challenge, you always see people say, well, don't use this Pokemon or don't do this because it's crappy. Well, if you wanted a challenge, you would use it because it is crappy, so then why would, so then it's actually going to be harder to use, but you could still use it.
I've heard of those Nuzlocke runs where you use random Pokemon. Those sound fun to do.
Well, no, Nuzlocke run is actually different. It's not that you use random Pokemon. That's more of, I think there's like some using like an emulator. You can.
Oh, but when
that's a randomizer where they'll randomize and you'll get random Pokemon.
Yeah. When the Pokemon faint, you can't use them again.
Yeah, right? The Nuzlocke run is when the Pokemon faints, they're dead. You leave them, and you also get a limit on how many Pokemon you can get in. Like you get 1 Pokemon per area, so you do have a limit on that. It's more like it'd be more like if you had Pokemon in real life, you wouldn't be able to just replace them at like candy or something. Is what the logic is. So yeah, at this point I've decided to switch them to go after the foes because it doesn't make sense for all 3 of them to just sit back there and not go after this guy. As I say, as he's dead.
I need to start looking at those tactics more. They sound
yeah, some of them,
interesting to use.
they're definitely useful in tight spots. I always neglect to use them sometimes, or because you can easily switch between them all the time, but I tend to forget to do that simply because it's a pain to go through the menu and constantly switch tactics. But like some of them get people away from there, so like if someone's in danger, you can say, "Hey, get the hell out of here! You're gonna die if you keep fighting."
Right.
Overall, though, this part of the dungeon is definitely not that bad. The second half, though, is a pain. You will.
Are you in a sand? You're not in a sandstorm right now, are you?
No, they don't. Actually, I don't even feel like there is sandstorms in this part of the dungeon, which is partly why this part isn't that bad. You'll know if it's a sandstorm because it will keep damaging you.
Right.
I do like the music here, but I like the music from the second half, I think, a little better. See, this is what I'm talking about. The dungeon isn't that big, but you get like a lot of trap areas where that looks like it could be an extra area, but it's not.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No, it's to trick you and make you waste time. Okay, that move that Scorpion keeps using is annoying, where he knocks off your item. But we are keep leveling up quite a bit. Getting a ton of experience here.
Those Vibrava, man. Vibrava's cool too. I like Flygon. Flygon ends up being a really great Pokemon to have.
Flygon's weird though, because of what it evolves from Trapinch, doesn't it?
Trapinch, Vibrava, then Flygon, yeah.
Yeah, and Trapinch looks entirely different from Flygon. But I guess that makes a little bit of sense, but... Yeah, then I think at this point I decided to take off rest from K-Man. Because he was doing that.
K-Man needs his sleep, man. That's normal.
Oh, that'd be PK. Okay, I know we don't hate on PK. We love PK. That's why we reference him so much, because he's so awesome.
I forgot that you got rid of PKZ.
Yeah,
PK is unintentionally taking up spots in our assembly.
Well, the spot doesn't matter though. You can have infinite spots in the assembly.
No, I mean like he's just kind of like there's 3 PKs.
There's 3. They're all just
hanging out.
Imagine the conversation you'd have with 3 PKs.
Like, hey guys. Like, you guys want to make an ogre battle episode together?
I don't know. Maybe. Nah,
we have 3 people here. We could do it. No. Pupitar. I don't like Pupitar. He scares me.
Yeah, but Tyranitar is pretty useful.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Oh, you're killing his cousin.
Yeah, but everyone likes Tyranitar, typically. I think he's like considered one of the best Pokemon considered. He's like the Gen 2 version of Dragonair in a way. He's not a dragon, obviously, but also I think Salamancers or whatever is also around that. Same with Garchomp.
It's the same thing.
That kind of Pokemon that.
Payback. What does that do?
Yeah.
These are. Ooh, counter status is cool.
I think I do. Even though Pursuit has that too, I think I get rid of Rest.
Pursuit does. Yeah, it does that too.
Which is probably good to have Rest simply because it's can heal at sometimes, but you know, I don't know. I just decided not to get rid of Rest because it would be more useful if I could like tell him when to rest, but I can't do that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the only way you can, and he can only use Rest when he's facing an enemy. They only use moves, but the best way you can get someone to force them to use a move is to make them move exclusive, and then only have that move set or activated.
Right.
So, that way they'll always.
You could do that. It takes a lot of maintenance over your team, but you could do it.
The only problem is you would only be able to use Rest when he's attacking a Pokemon. So it's like,
You have to be adjacent to a Pokemon?
Yeah, they're not going to use a move if there's no Pokemon to attack.
Right. Oh man, close to done with this part of the dungeon though.
Yeah, the next part will be a little bit more tricky.
Haha, tricky.
Tricky, was it? Tricky funny.
It's like, that's my mom,
No,
Chimchar.
not that tricky.
That tricky.
That
Yes,
tricky.
that tricky.
No, no. We don't want him. We don't like him. We don't talk
Grimy
about
food. Blah.
tricky. Though I don't think he was bad in Adventure, or not Adventures.
Why'd you do that?
Because I always forget that you can't go around corners.
Can't always. You can't. That's like a moral. That's like an object lesson right there. Can't cut corners all the time, man.
Yeah, but some Pokemon can with some attacks. Anyway, next time we will continue on with this dungeon.
Goodbye.